Good new, welcome back to New Hampshire Vintage. This is part 2 of the Phazer build. We got Troy with us today. We have some things we need to do. All parts came in. So we have the skid, don't mind that. We have the skid that we need to put back together and put all new bearings. We have a new front shock, and we also have to put the track back in. So I have everything that we need to get the chain case back together and all that stuff, and yeah, then we'll focus on the skid. And then after that we can do paint and the wire cleaning like we had to do last time that I haven't got around to yet. So yeah, let's just dive right into it and get this thing back together so we can take it for a rip with all the snow that we have. Which is none.
Great hobby to get into.
Awesome hobby to get into, right? All right, let's get started. So I just got to spray out the chain case with some brake clean, just clean up any of the little gasket material that I scraped off. But I cleaned that side up. I cleaned the other side up. So what we need to do first is take those drivers, and we're gonna put the track up, stick the drivers back in, get them close, and then we could get all the gears back on and get the chain back on. And on the other side, we can get the bearing put back in. That, I got a brand new one. Oh yeah, that's gonna make a world of a difference. The other one actually wasn't that bad, but just might as well change them. And I know some of you are gonna yell at me because we should be changing out this bearing and the other one and do the chain case bearings, but they're really not bad. Like, they spin fine. The only thing that's giving me resistance here is the brake pads that are on the rotor. That rotor is a little warped, but they spin freely. They're not like super noisy or anything. I don't feel like anything like sandy or it's sticking or anything. So we're gonna leave that for now, and in the future we'll go through that whole shaft and replace all that. You're gonna film me and watch me struggle.
It's more fun that way.
I'm just gonna find the arrow. So these tracks have an arrow, so they need to go a certain way. Just gotta see where it is. So yeah, there's the arrow. It goes. So we got our drive shaft here. So this is going to be kind of the tricky part. That's where I'm glad Troy's here today. Get two hands going. You can see new bearing on it. Spins beautiful. So this we're going to need to have to stick up with the track and get this side out and then push the other side through, and then we can get the gear on and get everything kind of in place. And once we get that on, then we can focus on rebuilding that whole skid, which is going to take a huge amount of time. So let's just get out of here and see if we can try to get this track up. Yep. Got it?
Yeah, that's in.
That's in?
Yep.
Good. Okay. So now what we need to do, if that's in, we need to push over the cogs. See, these need to sit. I know you guys can't see it on camera. I'm sorry. I'll show you after. These need to sit right here. So the center here needs to ride the center there. So we need to still go over towards you a little bit more.
Should it just shimmy over?
Yeah,
Really?
it should. So we're running into a little bit of a problem. The cog wheel here, the driver, is hitting this lug and causing it not to slide into its spot here. And the track, because you know I'm putting a deeper lug track on, usually a track has a little bit of play that way so we can kind of get it around. So what I'm thinking, it's probably a dumb idea, is unbolting this chain case, because this is already off. It's just 2 bolts here and a few right here. We could take this off, and then that hole behind there is a lot bigger, and that'll give a little bit of play for the wheels to get over, and then we can put it back in its spot and just put the chain case back on. So we're going to try that, see if that helps. Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. That's what we had to do. So we had to take that chain case off so we can go the long way in, because that shaft, the cogs are a little bit off. So we went the long way in, got that in so it lined up, and then we just pushed it up in and it sunk in. So now we can get things lined up with the bearings and everything like that, and get everything kind of tight and put back together. And then when we get the skid on too, it'll pull the track back, so hopefully the top of the lugs don't hit the top of the tunnel right up here where it curves, because I know that can be a problem with what length track you do, but this one should be all right. I think they say anything more than 1.5 inches you have to put smaller drivers on, and this one's only 1.3, so theoretically it should work, but we'll figure that out. Another thing too, I like having a camera guy. Another thing too is these seals should be replaced. There's 2 on each side. You can see they're leaking a little bit. That's going to take a lot longer for those to come in, because I got to special order those, and we're just running out of time on this build. So eventually I am going to redo bearings here on this jack shaft, but as you can see, it actually spins pretty good, so they're not terrible. But when we do that, we got to take the chain case back out again anyways, so we'll just replace seals then. They're not leaking terribly. Yes, I know, you could yell at me in the comments, but we're just going to throw it back on and run it for a little bit. It is what it is. I think that plate sits with this bearing in it. Then this guy goes on. Kind of like that, and that bolts into there once you get the cap on. That would make sense, right?
Makes sense to me.
So I'm dumb. Forgot to put the snap ring back in. Usually pretty important. All right, she's back in. Okay. And we can throw in. Sure. Okay, we're tensioner up, and I think we're ready to go. Tight, slightly tighter, or that's all right. I don't want to go too tight with it.
Well, I don't know if it should be like a motorcycle chain.
Yeah, I don't want to go super tight, but that has a little bit of give to it.
I'd maybe back off just like a little bit.
Just a tickle. There we go. What do you think?
That feels a little better, maybe even a little more.
I just don't want it to be sloppy. I don't want to hit the...
That in the middle is probably
Probably go right there, maybe. Just tighten that lock nut. Let me look it up. I'll see what a play needs to be.
Now that's an idea.
Yeah, why don't we just do it the right way? Get a wrench on there. About a ½ inch of play. Maybe slightly less, but I think it'll be fine. Just tighten this cotter pin. So next I'm just going to toss the secondary back on, just to get it out of the way. So when you put your secondary on, I just followed the same shims that was on. I just got to tighten it. You should have a little bit of play back and forth. It's usually pretty standard for all sleds. You want that secondary just to move just a tiny bit, because you know nothing is usually lined up perfectly, and you want to have that little bit of play so it lines up perfect with the belt. So let's tighten this bolt down, and then we'll wrongly get this belt on, and we'll move to doing the skid. After the skid's on, we'll also put the chain case cover on and fill that with oil. I just want to make sure everything spins before, if this track doesn't work, I don't want to ruin my gasket or anything like that. Well, here we go. I've actually never took apart a skid. I've done like a bogey wheel and stuff like that, but I've never fully... I'm not going to disassemble this completely, but we do need to change out this front shock, which I have. The rear shock we're keeping, because that one's not terrible. And I kind of ran out of budget for this build. So we're going to keep that. And then I got a fresh set of bogies here. These ones are shot. So I picked up a new set. They're just Kimpex bogies. They should be fine. There's the new shock for the front, which should be, yeah, pretty damn close. Here's the new shock for the front. So we're going to throw that on, because this one is definitely shot. I know that for a fact. This rear one's probably shot too. It's definitely in better shape. We got our boxes of bearings. So be able to place those. Before we dive into this big skid, I say we get the small ones out first. We do have a press if we need to, but we'll see how much these want to fight us. Sorry, fighting us. Always cut towards you. Oh yeah. Let's just see what the these ones here should be for the 3 big rear wheels. Yep, these are the big bearings. Okay. They were pretty cheap on Amazon for a pack of 10. So I just ordered a pack of 10, even though I only needed 3. Even though I will need quite a bit of the small ones. So let's do this top axle here first, or guide wheels, or whatever you want to call them. We're gonna need to get needle, you know what I'm talking about, pliers. She's moving. Oh yeah. There it is. So we'll polish this up a little bit as well. Just a little bit. We don't need to go crazy, but just to make sure the new one slides in perfect. I don't even need the handle. There it is. Bearing number 1. Shot. I'm gonna go back. Here. Come on. There it goes. And it's been a while since that's been out. It's a little bit more feisty. There it is. All right, so we have the new bearing here. So we're going to push the bearing back in. Which actually the press is the same size as the bearing, which is good. Take a look. Okay, we're going to need to go a little more. Until it seats, which I just felt it. Yep. Very nice. So I polished up the ends of the shafts a little bit. So hopefully it just slips on. Yep. A tiny bit more. I have to use the... So I really don't feel like moving that press all the way, so we're just going to do it. Yep. One more for good measure. Oh yeah. Oh, it's nice. All right. I need a bigger workbench. So shaft is back together. I did remember to put these snap rings back in their spots, so now we can throw those on these guys here. Oh, so much better. I can't believe I rode this sled with all these bad bearings before. This is going to be a whole new thing. So, yeah, old ones, trash. Look at those things. Completely shot. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. All right, I'm gonna put this over on the workbench, or on the sled lift, get that out of the way, and then we'll start doing it again. Yeah, I think that shock is toast. So I'm going to focus from the front back. So we will get these ones off, see if we can get this shaft to slide out so we can place this front shock, because that is no good. Brand new bearings. So on the time lapse there, I put the new shock in. You guys with me? So what I'm doing is I spread the skid apart so I can fit this axle like it's like a tube where the axle slides through. So I could fit it. So now what I need to do is go, should have had this ready. Fight this. Now I could probably take that shock back off. That'd help huge, but I'm already into it. There we go. Okay. That guy there. Very nice. And we'll just get a new cotter pin. So if you see here, nice and easy. We got our brand new shock. I'm going to leave the limiter strap and everything the way it is. Also, the slides are actually pretty nice too, so we're not going to change those out. Like I said, we're trying to stay on a budget here. Next is these now, which one is fully shot. The other one's actually not too bad, but obviously it's missing the rubber, so we're going to get those fixed. And what else here? Well, we have that apart. We could probably just try to pull this. We are not taking the shock off, so I think we can just pop the bearing off. Hopefully. Yeah, it looks like rubbed a little bit too. These are just fried. It's actually spinning on the shaft. And then we'll focus on these back ones here, which shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully. And then the rears. And then the skid can go back in. Ooh. Easy. The shock's a little, it's not terrible. It's more of a rebound shock. So we're gonna leave that. And see if we can get this guy out. All right, so I just undid this side too. So I'm just gonna kind of leave those in their spots. And you can see the actual bogies are holding in this whole setup. So okay, then we just gotta try to get this one out too. Which I think we're gonna try to press out. So let me press this guy out and then we'll get everything reassembled. Brand new bearings in. So we're just gonna take this shaft and get it reassembled. All right, we loosely got the new, well, I wouldn't say new, the half new and half old bogey wheel assembly there. So now we got to pull this down because this is going to sit on top with these holding it in place. So in order to do that, we're going to have to try to sketchily ratchet strap this thing. Back in, we'll hold ourselves together. Where's my bolt? Stuck. Perfect. All right. Then what we need to do is keep it on like so. Okay. And I need a 14. Okay. Okay, we are making progress. We got our front ones on, our center ones are on. Now we got to focus on our junk rear ones. So, oh boy, I probably should have done that while this was all apart, shouldn't I? Oh no. I hate when I do this to myself. It's gonna be nice once we get to this one and then those ones, but I totally forgot that we're gonna have to try to punch these out. Oh no, why did I do that? I'm sure you guys were yelling at me too. Just want to show you guys something as I'm ready to take this all back apart again to get these off. Someone welded the top of this shock. So I think this was replaced in the past and they didn't either want to spend the money for like an actual correct one, or they, yeah, that's probably it. They didn't want to spend the money, or it snapped off at some point. My guess is they replaced this, cut the other part off, attached it to this style head, and made it work. I just want to show you that. So, yep, cobbled together. So we took it off as a whole assembly. We're going to see if we can try to press it off. Oh boy, actually, I don't know if that's going to be able to happen. That took way longer than expected. Oh, I ended up, this wouldn't fit in the press because the wheels are too wide, it can't fit through. So I had to put it up against my workbench like that, hold it. This is with the whole unit, by the way, like attached. And then I took my hammer and a bit and I banged out the shaft. I finally got it out. This side now I can just press out. And let's see how rusted it is. I should be anti-seizing all these, but I've been kind of forgetting to. I'll probably, since this is metal on metal, I'll probably just give this a quick coat of anti-seize. Man, what a process that was. Got it though. So now, just got to press this bearing out. Got to get the retainer clip out. Get this bearing pressed out. Should be a lot easier. Thank God. I'll see you guys back when I get the new bearings back in. We'll get everything re-situated. Such a good feeling. All right, I got this all back together. It just took a lot of pressing and tedious work. Nothing really to film. Would have bored you guys if the skid already hasn't. It is fun learning everything though. So now what we're going to do is get this put back together again, and then we can focus on the last 5 rear bogies. So if you see here, it looks like these bolts just come out and these just slide out of each side. So I'm not worried about these bogie wheels. It's these rears I got to figure out. It'd be really nice if these pop out without taking this whole, not this hole, but the like these brackets off, as well as, because if I have to take these off, I have to undo these, which takes this back off. So I'm not putting this together yet, just in case, because I don't want to get that all set back up. I'm thinking once this cotter pin and this nut comes out, this slides out, which slides this collar, and then this also slides in or something. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, that's fried. The 2 on the end aren't too terrible, but we got new bearings. We're going to replace them anyways. Yeah, so definitely coming together. So nice. I did forget this shock here. There's a little collar that it slides over. Kind of see it right there. So once I finish the back, I'm going to have to take this front back off, unfortunately, which, yeah, I'll have to take that back off, which isn't a huge deal. We'll just have to unbolt it, spread it out again, and just take this off so I can, I mean, it's not a big deal, but you can see it moves just a tiny bit, and I think that collar secures it up a little more. Good morning. We're going to finish up with this skid. I'm just going to just do a quick time lapse. You guys pretty much have seen enough on this thing, and let's just get this thing buttoned up and we get it back in the sled and work on something else. So enjoy the time lapse. Blueberry muffin.
Well, here we go. Completed, all new bearings and every single bogey wheel back apart to put that little piece back in so now it doesn't move. I did anti-seize all these shafts when I did take it back out real fast just to make sure. I'm sure I missed a couple, but it'll be fine. They all came out, and I'm sure this thing was never really... Some of these bearings are probably from factory. This bogey wheel is different, so that one was replaced, and there was signs of a couple being done, but these rear ones, nope, those were never redone. Obviously these center wheels, and yeah, so now we're good to go. Brand new shock. That one still works fine, at least as far as I know. I don't know if this sounds like it's a like a rebound shock, like it goes back out slowly and then pushes in fairly easy. So I think that's the way it's supposed to be. So we're gonna leave that. I know there's a few things I should have redone. Probably should have painted this up. New slides if I really wanted to, but these are not showing wear at all. Like underneath, I can flip this on its side and show you. You can see they're still in good shape. It's not wearing through. Could they be replaced? Yeah, if we're already in here, but there's still plenty of life left on these. And we're trying to stay in budget, so we're gonna leave those be.
Skid is over. And now let's throw it back in the sled and get everything kind of put back together so we can rest it on its own weight again. And then we're going to move on to paint once we make sure that fires up pretty good and spins easily. Hung up on the sweatshirt. All right.
So I ended up having to take this upper, you can see it up there. I had to take this upper shaft back out, get a little more track flexibility so I can slide the whole skid in. The issue I was running into was just getting caught on these nubs here. But we're in, we're good. And now let's lower the sled down a little more and start getting that bolt to line up with that up there. So yeah, let's keep going. Is it stupid if it works? Oh yeah. So now I can just lower this guy. Theoretically. Oh, you couldn't get a better fitment than that. That is almost, it's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I don't know what to say. That idea worked. Now I can't get on the other side. How's the front? Oh, the front is almost perfect too. Might have to do a little fendangling for the front, but let's get the rear on first. On this channel, I am not afraid to admit mistakes, and I'm going to show you right now what I did and what I have to do now to fix it. So, pulling the bolt in, I was getting ready to tighten it down, and snapped. So I had to drill it out, so now I'm going to have to re-tap it, and I got it all out, got the old bolt out, and you can barely see the existing threads that used to be like the original threads in there. So I have a cheapo tap and die set, and I'm gonna clean this up and head to Lowe's and see what I have for a bolt that we can replace it with, and get back to resecuring the rest of this. Well, ended up finding a bolt here, so I didn't have to go to Lowe's. So I have the bolt here, and we thread in nice and easy all the way. It's about the same length as the other ones, might be slightly shorter, but I think it'll be fine. We'll throw a bunch of Loctite on it and send it, and I don't really think there's going to be a big issue with this. It goes in quite a ways, so. Well, glad I got that fixed. That was a nightmare and a half. So let's continue what we were just doing, huh? Forget any of that happened. Some glue Loctite. Oh yeah. Very nice. Okay. As stupid as this was, it actually worked really good. So we got all of them in, and I Loctited them just to be safe. And yeah, man, look at that. Let's get this down. Wow. Sitting on her own weight again. All right, I'm gonna clean up just these ratchet straps, kind of reorganize for a second, and we can move on to the next thing.
So before I put the sled down, I tightened the track up. Pretty easy procedure. I figured I wouldn't really record that. So yeah, now that track's in, that's awesome. That's a big relief getting that whole skid situated. And that was a scare with that bolt, but I got it. That ended up working pretty good.
You can see it's in there nice and tight now. Everything is perfect, and I can't wait to run her and see how she spins up.
So yeah, let's throw the pipe on real fast. It takes 2 seconds, and see how she does. All right, let's start it up and see this track spin. Get you guys a little closer. Yes. Track swap is a success. Speechless. It's awesome. Man, I wish I had running boards. These chintzy things. All right, I'm gonna start with this panel. I'm gonna try to get that sticker off. I'll get that one off. And you can see they're pretty beat up already. A couple gnarly gashes. So it's not gonna be perfect when it's done. But yeah, at least I'll just try to clean it up a little bit. It's all we're trying to do. We're going to be rubbing up against trees with it and everything anyways. Well, that took a lot longer than expected, but I got all the stickers off and I sanded down some of the bigger scratches and just all around to give paint something to bite onto. I gotta just take off that rubber and yeah, clean it up, wipe it down, and this one will be ready for primer. I got 18 more to go. Got all the pinstriping sanded off, and I gave just kind of, not everywhere, I'm just trying to give it a little bit for the paint to bite onto. I don't want to wear into the fiberglass. So yeah, we'll clean this one up. And I already did both side panels. We got 2 more panels to go. And I'm hopefully gonna try to get those scuffed up a little bit tonight, and then tomorrow morning we can start priming everything. I'm trying not to dig into this too much, because I already know there's a few spots I already kind of went a little, trying not to give it you know, trying not to misform it or anything like that, because you can start biting into this fiberglass pretty good. There's a few big cracks on this hood. It's not bad, it's up in the corner. I don't have any fiberglass repair stuff, so we're just gonna paint over it and call it a day. This thing's gonna get beat up in the woods anyways, so. So as you saw, we had some sanding, cleaning up, and we got everything primed. And actually I got a little carried away last night. Had a buddy over, we had a couple beers, and we managed to get the tunnel on this sled all taped up and primed. And I even did the top of the shock towers too. So now we can discuss the change of color I decided to do. And that would be blue. Yep, plain old sail blue. I actually sat at Lowe's and stood at the spray paint aisle and looked at all of them for about 15 minutes. Probably if anybody was watching on the cameras, they were like, what is this guy doing? Well, I was contemplating. After I primed everything, which actually I can show right here, I really liked the gray, so I was thinking, oh, maybe we can do a cool gunmetal gray or a dark charcoal gray. But I actually saw a couple sleds on like a Phazer Mod Facebook group that were gray, and as they did look good, wasn't exactly what I was picturing in mind when it was actually done and all put together on a sled. So then I was thinking red. Everybody's done red. I was thinking maybe just go all black again, but I was like, no, I want to change it up. That's why I'm painting this in the first place. So I went back to my original gut and said, let's do a brighter blue. And I was going to do a darker blue, but I already have a darker blue sled. So I kind of want to do something different. And we're going to do the tunnel blue. I'm finding a different bumper. I'm not doing the original Phazer bumper. I'm thinking like a Polaris bumper. I have a buddy looking for me right now for one of his old ones. We're going to do that white, give a little bit white accent. The pogo towers are going to be white, and everything here is going to be blue.
So yeah, I think that'll be cool, doing all blue. I have white Yamaha decals coming I'm going to put on the side, so we still have a little bit of contrast, not just all blue. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, let's just get to painting here. I actually kind of like these cans. Yeah, we're just spray bombing this. We're not doing it the right way with an actual gun. I don't have any right now. I gotta pick one up. I had a cheap Harbor Freight one, but it wasn't that good. It was pretty cheap, ironically. So I gotta find a more expensive cheap one. But this will work for now. I'm not gonna go super crazy detail with the running boards because I do want to find RMK boards like I've said in the past. So once we find something like that, I'm going to take those right off or cut these ones out. So this is just a first coat, nothing crazy. If I miss anything, I miss anything. Wow, that changed quite a bit. Honestly, for rattle can, it doesn't look too bad.
So I have a few buddies that do paint all the time, and they said that I should definitely put a clear on this. So I thought so too. So I'm gonna let these sit for at least 24 hours. They said let it sit for a while. So I'm gonna probably let these sit till honestly Monday. It's Saturday right now. And then I'm gonna do a coat of clear over everything, let it sit again, and then we can finally start assembling. And I have a few other little things that are showing up soon, in a couple days, that will look a little bit better. And I'll show you guys that when they show up. So I will see you guys in just a few days. So as you just saw, I just coated every single panel. The one I showed you was just the last one I was doing, which was the hood. I wanted to kind of practice a little bit before we get to the one that you see the most. And I used a 2K clear. A buddy of mine recommended that, and you actually punch the bottom and it releases the hardener. So you got to put like a mask on, like a heavy duty one, and allegedly it like withstands gas, oil, a lot better, like prone to scratches. More prone, it's less prone to scratches, and stuff like that. So also it prevents fading as well. So we're gonna we tried that, see how it goes. Just letting it dry now. I did the sled earlier, and all the metal part of the sled, like this is all the clear, that's pretty much dry. I did 2 coats. First a light coat and then a second coat. I really laid it down. But we're pretty dry here, but I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to put the seat on. But since I'm not really worried about like touching it, we are gonna change out the handlebars. Yeah, I thought about it. I don't mind these if you're doing like a ditch banging, standing up all the time, higher seat, but I'm trying to make this sled a trail slash, when you're going down the trail, you see that deep field full of snow, you can just go kind of have fun in it. So I'm trying to do like a 50-50 kind of deal. So this is what I got. So this is a PowerMad adapter. So you pretty much bolt it on right there. And then that's just a 4-inch riser. So this one I think is like around 8 inches. So we're gonna lower the bars to probably around here. So it'll still be high enough where you're standing, you're comfortable, but when you're also sitting,
you're not riding it like a Harley. You know what I mean? So let's get this re-unbolted and put the new ones on and see what it looks like, and at least get it rough. And then I'll probably call it for tonight.
This video must be mad confusing now. It's the next morning. I decided just to wait a little bit longer before I started doing the handlebars,
because I need to drill out those threads in order to get the plate on, or whatever, the adapter, because that's threaded. So I either drill out those threads or I drill out these threads. But the way this is set up is it looks like the bolt comes up from the bottom. Otherwise there's no way to get that head flush. So yeah, and I didn't want to do it while the paint was still, it's completely dried up now. It looks really good for just painting over already scratched and bad plastics, pretty much, per se. These plastics were in the best shape. For painting in a shop with a spray can, it's not bad. There's some dust on it because this shop is dusty. You know, some dog hair has been mixed in. You can see there's a nice kind of scuff right there. A few spots I sanded way too much when I was sanding down some scratches, and let me see, you can kind of see it there. It kind of made a rough texture, but I do have stickers I am putting over, Yamaha stickers, so that should kind of get the eye away from that. It's a cheap Phazer. I mean, it is what it is. The tunnel looks great. That came out really nice. I even cleared over the ST sticker here, and it brought it back around to being black. It was a faded color, so that's nice. I do want to get another flap eventually. I got to get like overspray paint remover. I accidentally got a little bit there. It's a little on the track. I'm not worried about that. That'll all wear away. And then I got to clean up like that there that I accidentally hit. I'm not going to be too worried about the tank. That's being covered up. But yeah, it looks good. I didn't focus too much on the running boards, even though they do look pretty good. I didn't get it completely perfect because I do want to cut these out and put RMK boards on there. That being said, if anybody has RMK boards or looking to sell, email me right here. I'm still looking locally, but if something pops up, I just don't want to buy brand new ones, or I don't want to buy some on eBay that are all the way out in Wisconsin. Rather get my hands on some that are more local, and I can at least, you know, measure them or whatnot. So yeah, let me know. So that being said, before we start reassembly, because that's what we're going to need to do now, we're going to pick up a rear bumper. So let's head out and go grab a rear bumper for this thing, because the stock one was just not going to do. It was fine, it's just ugly the way it's set up. The one I'm the one I'm picking up, I think you guys will like it. So let's go grab that. Taking the old diesel today. It's been a while since I drove this truck. Usually use the single cab for wintertime use, but try to keep the salt off this one. This is going to be my forever truck. I want to be that guy 25 years from now that has the clean 2020, no rust or anything like that. She does get used a lot. She tows, I mean, she tows like excavators and everything like that, so it's not like it has a garage queen full life, you know. She's seen work, but you know, I just try to take care of it.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways.
I had to fight it a little bit, but I got everything back in place. Putting things together, then realizing like, crap, I need to keep this loose so I can put this guy back on. So re-loosen it back up, retighten it, and forget something else. But wow. I put the Yamaha sticker down there. Just give it a little more pop. I got something going on the hood, so we'll do that after. I want to get the rest of the stuff buttoned up, and that'll be kind of the last touch. Put the Yamaha on this side. That's where the plate was before. When I got the sled, they had a plate on that. So instead of just having 4 holes, we'll just put the plate back on the side. It's not a big deal. I guess it fits it there. Wow. Well, we just got to get the bars. I might see if I could try to get like a plastic restorer, because this is a lot more faded now, and it really sticks out now that the rest of the sled doesn't look so crappy. But at the end of the day, it's still a old Phazer, so it's not really the complete end of the world. But man. So let's focus on the bars next, get those done, and then we can do the rear bumper, and then that last touch on the hood, and we're pretty much ready for snow, if we ever get any.
So like I told you guys before, we got to drill out these threads. And we're putting the adapter on there, so if we do want, oh hey, there's down there. So if we want taller bars, if we decide this 4 inches is enough, you can just grab an 8-inch block and just put it right on. So yeah, let's get that mounted and put the 4-inch on there and see how it looks. And clean up a lot of this wiring, because this is just a hot mess and it's bothering me. I don't even want to talk about it. Wiring up the light. I put my bars just on the seat. Just gave it a quick fire up to see if the light would come on with the wiring that I was starting. And she decided she wanted to just have enough throttle the way the bars were positioned. The cable was, you know, bent up enough, where she drove herself off my table and whacked the corner of my metal table. Taking that out, and what I'm more mad about, not the metal table, is now she's got a nice scuff, like pretty bad one too. Fucked up here. Luckily that's it. There's no other damage. A little bit here from hitting the chair. She was so pretty. I worked so hard on it. I'm ready to cry. Luckily I have extra paint, so I can just touch it up for now. It just sucks because it's my fault. I should have realized that it was gonna go like hell, I guess, but I didn't really think it would take off the table. I thought it would just kind of more higher idle, but it's my fault. Definitely my fault. So let me clean up my catastrophe over here. Get this thing back on the table after, or I might just leave it. Well, I'm kind of glad it hit the table instead of hitting my other sleds that are behind the table. So that's a plus. I'd rather not have it hit. What I'm going to do is put the bars back up, sit on it, and once I'm done, start it up and make sure it's good to go. Or just lift the back end up so the track spins. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to have a beer or two.
So we were all touched up. I just got to wait for clear. And got everything put back together. Thank God it didn't hit my summit. Oh, I also cleaned up the lift table. There was a bunch of overspray, so I got that all wiped down. And now we're back. We're keeping her right here for now, right in front of the Barracuda, which is perfect. So if she does take off again, at least it hits the car, which is not what I want. So I might spin her around so it goes towards the door. But what I want to show you, I did put the emergency brake on and I turned down the idle quite a bit. I want to show you this. So this is a rectifier. So let me show you what this light is doing before, and then we'll quickly tie in the rectifier and show you what it does after.
So this is before. See how it blinks like really quick? Now, if you click the throttle, it'll go away. Kind of like on an older halogen bulb where, you know, like when the sled's idling, it just kind of is very dim and then it brightens up. So a rectifier fixes that. For halogen bulbs, they can kind of handle that. A LED really, you can run it, but it's very flashy and also it can wreck your LEDs. It's not really good for it. So let's quickly, just as a demonstration here, I'm just gonna alligator clip the rectifier in now. So what we're gonna do, okay, I have my rectifier just crudely plugged in. And if you look at these, they're very simple. You have your AC, your plus sign. Let's see if I can. So you have your AC, your plus. So basically that's your AC in, which is usually your yellow wire. Then diagonal, that's your AC negative. So that goes the negative of the bar there. And then on this side, you see a plus. That's your positive for your unit that you're using, and then diagonal is your negative for whatever unit, in this case a light. So now we'll fire her up and you'll see a difference. Now it might not be perfect, you still might see a little bit of flittering here, but it's going to be a vast improvement, and I'll show you right now. So there you go. A lot better. Before it was very dim and fluttery, and then it would brighten up like crazy. Now it's not as fluttery. It brightens up a tiny bit when you give it a little more power, but nothing crazy. So we're gonna run that and get this whole thing wired up and get the bars on tonight. And then, yeah, so let's keep going. Yep, I like that a lot better. Blocked out a lot cleaner. So I already trimmed all the wires I didn't need. Now I got to go through and just clean these up, get them to a good point where I can get them wired up very nicely. I'm thinking maybe the issue is these plugs, which I kind of want to keep just in case if I take these off. This is going to be all cleaned up and hidden underneath, out of the way. But the wire here and here, and this one, I might have a wire loom tape, or I can just
tape them up really nicely. I don't want to cut these off. I can't really get heat shrink in there. Those would be nice just right up along the side. But otherwise, yeah, a lot better. If I was fully standing all the time, yeah, that other bar being another 4 inches higher. Even if this one was another inch or 2, wouldn't be terrible, but like actually like sitting on it, because this is going to be a trail rider slash like field carver. It's not anywhere near a mountain kind of deal. We would have to put a whole new skid, and I still might do something down the road because everybody changes those out. But yeah, she is coming along very nicely. So I'm just going to clean up the wiring. I'm not going to really video that. That's just going to be a lot of like tucking and just splicing down more, and yeah, getting this all cleaned up the best I can, and also get that all situated. Coming together though, definitely. Well, good morning. We're back on the Phazer. I decided to call it quits last night. I was just too, from it falling off the, well, driving off the lift table. It's just, I had it that night. So we're starting fresh today. I just want to show something real quick. So because of all the views, which I really appreciate, I managed to get a couple new tools here. Nothing crazy. I think it was like 125 bucks or something for the both of them, or 150 bucks for the both of them. I got myself a bore scope. Let's see if we turn it on here. And it's one that actually articulates. So you can kind of see, there's me and the camera. We're doing cameraception here. But you can see, it actually moves around. It's got a little light. So that's pretty neat. And then we also got a kind of more high-end compression tester. It's a OTC. It had really good reviews on Amazon. The Pittsburgh ones, I think Maddox makes a decent one from Harbor Freight, but these little chintzy Pittsburgh ones, they're just not that accurate. Sometimes it seems like they're dead on, and sometimes it seems like they're way off. And a lot of reviews on them were saying that they're just not good. So we finally got a higher end one. I mean, it's not anything super crazy, but for sleds and stuff like that, what we do, this should work just fine. And I am going to put this to a test compared to the Pittsburgh one in another video. But yeah, just want to show you those, and we'll get back to the Phazer now. Just want to say thank you for the viewers. I don't get a lot of them, but to the people that like to stick around and see these shenanigans going on, I really appreciate it. So anyways, back to the Phazer. Bars are on, and I really like them. Now it's just wiring. So I showed you the rectifier. So this is from last night. I'm gonna clean up all this and get everything heat shrunk. And then cleaning these up, and probably gonna put these in a wire loom or something, just to kind of blend them in, and we'll probably tie them to the block or whatnot. I'd like to fish it through the block, but unfortunately these clips just don't go high enough, and I don't want to pull more wire out from underneath. So we're gonna clean this up now, and then once that's all cleaned up and good to go, just got to do the rear bumper and my final little touch, and this thing is ready for snow pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else with it. Everything else seems pretty good. So let's clean up that wiring and move on to the rear bumper and get that done. So I didn't have any wire looms, so I gotta run to the store and grab it. But for now, I just quickly electrical taped it. I'll probably forget about it and just leave it like that. But once I go to the hardware store, I'll pick up a set and clean it up really good. But for now, it's fine. We got a scratch here. That sucks. So that happens when you spray bomb stuff, right? I did use a 2K clear, so I mean that holds up a little better, but it is what it is. This thing's gonna get scratched up quite a bit anyways. So let's focus on the rear bumper. We went out and grabbed one yesterday, and it seems like it fits pretty good. We just gotta do a little modification. So yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Well, okay, so what we need to do is we're gonna drill these holes on the bumper a little bit wider, and bumper will cover that up. So I'm going to drill these little holes out a little bigger for the bolts, and yeah, we'll get it on. Let's see if we can bring her down a smidge. Well, what we need to do first is make sure the bumper's facing the right way. That looks pretty good right there. Nice. Rear bumper on. What do you think? I think those look pretty good. Tighten down the light a little bit. Wow. And then we got one more thing to do, and then we're ready for some snow.
hard with that angle there. I think I got it pretty good. Oh man.
Yep. I love it. Can't wait to ride this thing. We need to get some snow. Actually ended up going pretty good.
What a transformation. So we're pretty much just waiting on snow now, so next time you see me, hopefully there's a little storm this weekend that's coming up. I think we're only supposed to get a couple inches, but it's gonna be enough where we can at least try this thing around the yard. And then down the road, when we do get more snow, hopefully, I have to go down to South Carolina to chase the snow now. We'll be able to give this thing a true test in a little bit deeper powder, but at least we could try to rip it around the yard when that time comes. So I'll see you guys when there's snow. Right out here. Good morning. We got a snowstorm, but we didn't get much. I'd probably say maybe 2 inches. Just enough where we could try out the Phazer. Can't do anything crazy, but at least we can take a hot lap around the yard and just see how she runs. Hopefully we get more snow. It's already beginning of January, like it's actually almost the second week of January. And yeah, I just wish we had at least a foot where we can really rip this thing around, but we'll just take it for a quick lap and see how it does. Unfortunately, I'm tearing up my yard because, like I said, there's only a couple inches on the ground. It's all powder. But so far, for the couple laps I just did that you saw, can't do anything crazy, but thing actually hangs skis now. Last year when I took it for a ride, granted the track was junk, all the bogey wheels were seized up. Still runs great. Couldn't get it to lift up. I'm like, huh, this thing should have a little more power than, but with this new track and all that stuff, what a difference.
Now we just need more snow. Oh man, once we get more snow, we will do another video on this and a little bit deeper powder. It definitely deserves one more video. Hi, buddy. What are you guys doing? Yeah, bring you guys in a second. Let you guys play in the snow for a little bit. Yeah, you guys love the snow, don't you? Yeah, took a boy.
Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned because we have quite a few videos coming up now. Back in the role of... he wants to be in the video. I'm back in the role of making videos all the time. So, yeah, just stay tuned for that. Buddy, I'm going to bring you in. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.